Hi, Julia Watts here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So we're looking at Sentimentally Yours and we're looking at the festive collection for 2024. But today we're going to be looking mainly at stamps because we had new stamps as well. Obviously we've got the new fancy frames and the new adornments, but we've got two new stamp sets. We have the Festive Sentiments, Just Saying Festive Sentiments, and Just Saying is a collection of sentiments that were released earlier this year, and you can see this mixed font is going to be exactly the same as the mixed font on those as well, but this is in the red Christmas packaging with the little flourish there rather than the Santa hat which we used to have at Christmas. Obviously the stamps are bigger than it looks in the packaging, but you've got 12, I think. It normally says 16. Oh, even better. You've got 16 stamps here. You've got Happy Christmas and Merry Christmas, tiny little ones there. But then you've got lots of bigger ones, sending Christmas wishes across the miles. I quite like that one. May your home be filled with festive love. Fantastic sentiments. So those are available. They're all the products from the festive collection are available to order over on my website. It's a pre-order with dispatching from the 29th of July. And you'll also find them over on Phil's store, which is honeypotcrafts.co.uk. So the other stamp set, these are A6. The other stamp set we've got is your festive border sentiments. We love a border sentiment, and we're going to be using a couple of these during this demonstration. Really useful. Again, they're the mixed font because they're part of the Just Saying collection. Definitely a must-have. You're going to use these every single year. And then we are going to use die set. We're going to use Festive Poinsettias too. There's 10 dies on this and you get the magnetic sheet. And from last year we're going to be using the snowflake circles, I think they're called. I can't remember. I don't have these in stock, but you should be able to buy them at Honeypot Crafts. Right, so let's make a start. So as I said, we're going to be stamping. So I've got a mat here out of a stamping platform just to give me a little bit of a cushion. And we're going to stamp a background. Obviously you can use pattern papers if you want to, but we are going to stamp a background. And this is a piece of pure white card, and you can see we've got that lovely debossed double stitch detail around the edges because I've used the double debossed stitched squares. Say that when your teeth haven't been put in right. And we're going to use two of the border stamps to make our background. And we're going to use the same two stamps as a more prominent feature as well. So I thought what we'd have is the most wonderful time of the year and have yourself a merry little Christmas, because they're two of the larger ones. Brand new stamps, haven't used them yet. So let's find the one we were going to have. Not the one I don't want. So just let it drop onto that piece of paper, and then it'll be straight, and then just pick it up onto a border block. And this stamping your background is actually easier with blocks. And have yourself a merry little Christmas. That's the other one we're going to use. Again, let it drop and pick it up onto a rather dirty border block. Dirt is an option. You don't have to have dirt. Right, so let's get this in here. I'm not expecting to be able to stamp straight because I am stamping around a camera, so we'll see. I'm going to stamp with Sand Dune Versifying Clair, which you will find on both of our websites. This is one of the new colours. They're very juicy, the new ink pads. Very, very juicy. I'm going to have a look to see how it looks first, just on my scrap underneath. Beautiful. See, I've already been stamped. I always practice first of all on here. Oh, excuse me, frog. See if we can get it straightish. I'm going to go off the page slightly. Normally what I do is I actually stamp my background, then I die cut it afterwards, because then I can kind of line it up properly. That's not too bad actually, that, Julia, well done. Then we're going to take the other one. As you can see, this takes a while, but I do find it quite therapeutic to do this. Obviously, fast forward if you want to. The most wonderful time of the year. Beautiful. Actually, my second stamping is better. That doesn't happen very often, does it? Quite often you stamp, you practice, and then you practice, but it's better than your real one. But you know, it's a background, it doesn't matter. Let's see if I can get this straight. So I'm only going to get the most wonderful in there. Not really straight, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to stress. I am going to put a frame on top of this as well as a sentiment. So it is a background, as I said, so you don't have to stress. So let's have this up here like that. So this is the same one as before. And you can see how they're a little bit blotchy because the ink pads are very, very juicy, the new ones. I like this colour, this sand dune, because it's quite subtle. There's quite a few of the lighter colours in the new set of 12 Versafine Clairs, which I think that's what people were after. They were after more pastel colours, because the original colours are quite bold. So I'm alternating between the two different sentiments. Obviously you can use all of the sentiments in the set. I can't remember how many there is in the border. Yeah, you get 10, but it's obviously easier if you've got one on each block. So it depends how many blocks you've got. Sometimes my gaps might be different. It doesn't matter. It's the process, and I can see I'm already on the slant. Let's see if we can straighten that slant out a wee bit, shall we? Let's have the most wonderful time of the year there. That's very smudgy, isn't it? Good job something's going on top of that. Down a wee bit, but we're going to have the sentiment in the middle of that. So yeah, I'm not stressed. Like I said, I do find this sort of stamping really therapeutic. Obviously, if you've got bigger sentiments, your background fills up bigger, quicker rather, not bigger. But sometimes it's just nice to have that challenge of using your stamps in a slightly different way. Oh, nearly. Hopefully something's going to go on there. We can make it a bit more grungy anyway. Let's have most there. I don't want to actually look like I'm repeating it exactly, so I do want to stagger it slightly. Let's have that about like that, I think. I mean, you could do this in the stamping platform, but it's a lot more, I think it's a lot more difficult, because you need to make sure that you probably use a piece of acetate to line the stamp up each time, so you don't transfer the ink where you don't want it. And there's a lot of faffing around if you're using a stamping platform to do this technique. And I have gone for the white card rather than the super smooth watercolour card, which is what I normally do. I like it. What if we need to do another one in here? See, I haven't done that. I've only stamped twice across them. So depending on where you start, you could actually have like, oh wait. No, I think we'll just do the two. Sometimes you might want to have another little bit just there. Should we just do that? That'll be a smudgy H probably. Wonderful time of the year. Just to complete it. How's it looking? It's looking quite messy because we've got this paper underneath. Oh, and do make sure it's up the right way. Very important. This one's going over there, like that. This is a great sort of background for your journal if you're journaling your Christmas or doing the December day by day. Really getting into my journaling now because I make so many cards I just don't know what to do with them all. Right, so let's go over a bit now. So let's just make it a bit more easy. So we're only doing two. Can't really see that bit where I dropped it now. It's there, but I bet if you hadn't watched me drop it, you wouldn't know it. I think it's looking pretty good. Happy with this. Wonderful time of the year. Let's have it like that, because we can. And then we'll start offsetting again. It's not looking too wonky, is it? There's a lot of ink on that C. Let's get rid of some of that. It sits in the curves of the font. They're very juicy. Very, very juicy. Oh, don't want that one. Not this one. You know, if you do accidentally stamp the same one twice, I don't think anybody's really going to notice because, like I say, it is a background. And let's have only a bit of the wonderful on there. Oh! Just about got away with that. Oh, that would be a bit disastrous when you've stamped it all and you've taken like 14 minutes, which is where we're at. I haven't done this for 14 minutes, but you've taken a while to stamp it and then you drop your block just at the end. So this should be the last one. And the dots help you line it up. It's you can't really, not the dots, you know, the deboss stitch, you can't really stamp on those properly, which is why I like to die cut second normally. There we go, there's our background all done. Isn't that cool? So we give that a few seconds to dry and then we will ink around the edges. Just clean a little bit of the ink off because we're going to actually go into our stamping platform now because I don't trust myself. going to stamp on a frame. Right, let's get rid of that. And we're going to swap over to a slightly darker brown in the new ones. We're going to use Portobello, which is actually kind of a greeny brown. You've got mushrooms there in the background, which is kind of the colour they were aiming at. I do like the packaging that Versafine Claire do. Instead of doing the same picture behind all of them, they kind of show you what their inspiration for the colours were. Very clever. I do like that. Right, so let's go into here. So we've got a frame, again, cut with the debossed double stitched squares. So because of the double stitching, you get the stitching on the inside and the outside of your frame, which is very professional. And we're going to use the same 2 sentiments again. So we're going to stamp like the same 2 there and the same 2 there. That's what we're aiming at. And I am going to use, where's the acetate, just in case. I'm going to just put the acetate on here for a sec. And we're going to pick up one of the sentiments. Let's hope I don't get all over my fingers. The most wonderful time of the year. Over a bit. So just there, I think. I'm going to lose the top and bottom of my F if I'm not careful. And it might be on the wonk a bit because of the acetate. So we go for that. Let's go for that. Let's pick it up. Where's the acetate? There it is. Okay. So Portobello. So they're very juicy, so we'll probably get the same thing happening as we did with our background. And some of the letters will be a bit iffy. Pretty good. Okay, so instead of doing it upside down, I think I'm going to do the right way up. Because you know, if I turn it now, it's going to be upside down, isn't it? Because if I turn it like this and stamp it, it's going to be upside down. I don't think I want it upside down. So I think I want it the right way up. What we're going to do is we're going to just move the frame down because it's easier for my magnets. Where's that acetate? We're going to take that acetate and pop it down. And then I'm going to just wipe some of the glue off. It's not glue, is it? It's ink. Brain dead monkey, that's me. You've got to laugh at yourself, haven't you, really? Right, the most wonderful time of the year. If we can get it straightish. It's going to have to be right above it so I can see. Okay, let's pick that up. Fetch the acetate out. Very important to fetch the acetate out, otherwise you can have a right old mess. And I'll stamp again. I'm not putting loads of pressure on because it's such a fine stamp. There we go. There's that one. That's actually better than the other one. Right, so that's that. Then we're going to stamp the sideways on ones, and they are going to be facing each other. So we can put that into the corner again. Pop that there, pop that there. Get rid of this one, and then we're going to use the other stamp that we used on our background. So everything's coordinated. Which one was this? The most wonderful time of the year. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let's bring the acetate in. I think we need to go over a bit. Where is it? I'll pick it up. Once your stamps are dirty, it's easier to see that whether you're doing things straight or not. Which is a dreadful thing to say, but a dirty stamp is a happy stamp. Unless it gets so bad that you can't read it, and then it's not very happy at all. So again with the Portobello, I suggest you do really light tapping. If you're one of these people that really bounces on quite heavily like me, do some really light tapping with them while these ink pads are new. Then we're going to turn round. Now you could actually, with this one, you could actually stamp and emboss in gold, because we are going to use some of the new gold mirror card, but I'm lazy. I like to stamp just with ink. Sometimes I emboss, but not so much nowadays because I'm lazy. There we go. So that's our frame all done. So obviously, because I've stamped that way, that's the way that frame's going to be. Oh, let's see if we can show you properly. There we go. That's our frame. So put that to one side. See, I'll just bring the background in again. Look how fab that looks on the background. Obviously, it's not finished yet. Right, so that's that. Let's give that a little bit of a, get rid of that excess ink. Incidentally, if you do want to clean your inks, this is a very good cleaner, archival ink cleaner. Although it says archival ink cleaner, it's very good for getting your versifying off your stamps as well, especially when they're dried on, because a lot of my fairy hug stamps are well caked, and all the ones we use in the social stamping sessions are well caked with ink, and at some point the stamps start to feel really dry, but you can actually kind of get them back to almost like new with this cleaner, while the ink is fairly fresh. So here I could just go and run it under the tap with a soft nail brush, and the ink will come off. So just some cleaning tips for you if you want to clean your stamps. The trouble is I have so many dirty stamps, it's like a major thing that I don't have time for. Let's put that back in the packaging so we know where it is. And let's go for our sentiment stamps, which I've put somewhere safe, ready to use, and there they are. Okay, so I did have a piece of kitchen roll. There it is. I've got one of the debossed double stitched circles cut out here, and we're going to pop the kitchen. We're going to do a Phil Martin technique here, which is really good. Great when you've got tags and little things that you can't really anchor very easily. A little bit of glue on the back, only a little bit. It's on a kitchen roll, doesn't matter if some of it rips off. And I thought we'd have, oh, what should we have? I thought we'd have that one, but I might change my mind. I was going to have sending Christmas wishes across the miles, because I like that. Wishing you a Merry Christmas, that's nice. Wishing you a Happy Christmas. I do like happy rather than merry because I don't drink. Believe in the magic of Christmas, that fits. See, quite a lot of them fit. I think we'll have this wishing you a Happy Christmas, because I like to be happy. Doesn't matter how it's positioned necessarily. Don't worry about being straight, because it's a circle, so you can just move it round. I can, because I've chosen a smaller sentiment, I can actually bring magnets in just to secure it. Obviously I can't push a circle up into the corner, which is why we've got the glue on the back. So we're still going with the portobello. Bit of light tapping. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And you can just tear that off the kitchen roll. A little bit of kitchen roll on the back, doesn't matter. Don't know why we got it there. But we have, anyway. Oh, isn't that lovely? Right, so that's that. Clean off a bit of the ink. I'll put that away in a bit. Okie dokie, where are we at? Right, okay, so we are making a 6x6. I think this is a 6x6 card. Let me just double check. I want to tell you polkas. Yeah, 6x6. 6x6 is always shy of 6x6. And we've got some of the new gold mirror card here, so we're going to pop that on. The mirror card you can only get from Mr. M from Honeypot Crafts. I don't stock very much card stock, to be honest, because if somebody orders, say, glue or some glitter with some card, it's very difficult to actually post out without damaging the card, and I don't really want to send you damaged cards. So I do stock a little bit of card, but not a lot. I know Bill, I don't know if he still uses them, but he used to have those boxes that he used to use. Right, so that's that. Then we're going to have our background. So that's flat. And we're going to just ink around the edges a wee bit. Now you could, if you wanted to bring the gold in, you could actually ink around the edges with a bit of Versamark and then add some of gold embossing powder. That would be lovely. But we're going to go for Scorched Timber Distress Oxide, which is my favourite for edging. It's quite a dark brown, but it does lighten quite significantly. So if you were dipping it in, it could lighten as much as that, you know, if you were doing a dippy background. So it's very versatile, this ink. It might have been the last new Distress ink out, but it's definitely packs a punch and it's so useful. And it goes with so many other different colours. I mean, you could stamp your background with Distress Oxide if you wanted to, rather than I've got something on my map there, I don't know what it is. Yeah, so you could stamp with the Distress Oxide if you didn't want to use the Versafine Clairs. Entirely up to you. So that's going to go on there like that, a little bit distressed, and we're also going to need a clean piece of kitchen roll. Oh, that will do. I don't want to mess up my sentiment, because it might still be wet. Okay, so there's our sentiment. I've also got a circle from the snowflakes, which is the same kind of stitching. It's a little bit closer together than the double debossed stitched circles, but you know, it's very close match. So this is just an extra kind of layer that we're going to have, but we'll kind of edge it as well. Like so, and then we'll also, I think, bring in our frame, because our frame's quite clean at the moment, and we just ink around the edges. I'm not going to go around the inside, because that's a little bit difficult to do, because you can't get right into the corners very easily unless you use a brush. Definitely got something on my mat, but that ink shouldn't look like that. probably glue. And I'm just using this piece of kitchen roll so that I don't smudge the VersaFine Clear, because it does take a little while to dry. Okay, nearly there, and then we can do all of our finishing up the rest of our construction. Ooh. Left side. Did I do that one? Yes, I did. It's a bit light there, that. Okay. That's a bit light as well. Sorry, I'm just faffing. Obviously, I can't change it once it's stuck on my card. So I just want to make sure it's right to begin with. Let's have a clean up. Good old mats, that's excellent. This isn't one of the sticky ones though, because I've got MDF underneath and it doesn't stick to the, you know, Phil's ones have got the sticky on the back. It's not sticky, it's like a, I don't know what it is, it's on the back, but it's really handy. Okay, so background on. Sounds like the council cutting the grass verges. Okay, right, let's pop this on. Like so. Make sure it's straightish. Because obviously, if you use a guillotine, it's never as straight as if you use a die. Die is always straighter. That, and then we are going to put our frame on. And the frame, I'm going to use, I'm only going to raise it a little bit because I am trying to do flatter cards. So we are going to just put 1mm foam tape around the edges. Okay. That's a little bit. Normally I would put this underneath my mat to try and make sure it's flat so that the glue doesn't warp. But obviously we're not doing that right now. So I can get it straight, I am going to put a little bit of glue on the, or straight as possible. Put a bit of glue on the foam tape. So obviously I'm working around a camera, which makes it life a lot more difficult. So if anything's wonky, you get the idea. It's not meant to be wonky. Obviously I'm using Sentimentally Yours PVA, which is the best. And I do favour the big bottles because they just last such a long time. Right, stand up and have a look. Make sure I put it on the right way up and not upside down, which is definitely a Julia thing to do. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so I think it's going down there. That's where it's going. And obviously we've got the gold there, so what we want a bit more gold. So we've got the snowflake, one of the snowflake circles cut out in gold, and that's going to go in the centre. So we're going to put a little bit of the 1mm tape. Just just on the back, just to raise this up a wee bit. Okay. And I think we'll have it just so that just a little bit up, and then we've got to have these two on. I'm just going to get rid of some of that noise, I think. Failed miserably. Oh well. Let's have a look. I'm going to put this one on. I'm just going to do this flat so that we don't have too much height. Thinking about the postage. Like that. It's so hot at the moment. There we go. It's always the way that we end up making Christmas cards when it's hottest. And that's going to go in the centre there. Like so, check that looks straightish. I think it does. So obviously we could stop there, but we're not going to. I've got, what have I done with them? Here they are. From those little the poinsettia set, I have 2 of each of the smallest poinsettias, and we're going to put those just in the corner because I think that'll look quite pretty, just to set it off. And shall we do them flat? I think we might do them flat. So let's sort out the sizes. There's not a lot of difference in the sizes actually, but there's definitely one bigger than the other. And I know I've got an extra one because I lost one. So then I had to cut another 2 just to make sure. Like that, there we go, that's the extra one. Oh, got a bubble. So let's put a little bit of glue in the centre of the bottom one. Like so. And I'm going to use my tweezers to pick them up. And remember, they're not 100% symmetrical, so and they slide around a lot. It does take longer to stick on a mirror card because it's slidey. Oh, come on, don't stick to me, stick to each other. You watch, I'll go and pick them up and then they'll slide apart again. Just what you need when you're feeling a bit hot. They're not offsetting. There we go. That's offset. Sticking to me. Oh, why didn't I do this ahead of time? There we go, last one. Behave yourself. Oh, look at that one, it did. Perfect. That one was very well behaved. So I'm just going to stick a bit of glue in each corner because I think that's going to be easiest. And then we're going to pick up each pair. Put one in each corner. And it just carries the gold across from the mat as well as the snowflake circle. And of course I did measure my frame before I actually cut it to make sure that when I did my stamping that I could still get the poinsettias in the corners, which obviously I can, which is nice. see if I can move that one a little bit. There we go, there you go. Stay. Okay, that's looking good, isn't it? And just to finish off, we're going to get rid of that black bit, and we're going to just take see if I can find some small pearls. Oh, there's some small ones in there. I'm just going to put, I think a 3mm will do it, just in each corner. Don't want too much glue. Just a teeny tiny bit of glue. Did notice. I want my pick up tool. So that's always the easiest way to put one on. I'm a bit annoyed that I've got a gap there. Can you see that there's a gap in the background there? It's always the way. I'm just going to see that now forever. But you get the idea, don't you? See where I'm aiming at. There we go. Put that in each corner. There, we're all done. Pretty. I think that works. So there we are. There's a 6x6 card made using the 2 new stamp sets, part of the Christmas new festive collection from Sentimentally Yours. We've used the Just Saying Festive Sentiments for the focal sentiment, and then in the background and around the border we've used the festive border sentiments. I hope you found that useful. Don't forget that you'll find the products over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk. You'll also find them over at honeypotcrafts.co.uk too. Please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel, which is where you are now. I do love to read your comments, and remember there's lots and lots of other videos that you can watch, including, I think this is the 8th video that I've made with this festive collection. So just need to say thank you for watching.